So, notes. Here we go. Find the section that says possible SSA cases. Do you remember the one curse word in geometry that you couldn't use? You couldn't use the donkey, right?
Yeah.
It's Christmas time. You can say donkey. But here's the deal. So that's the case we're working with, the ASS case. So ASS, SSA, same thing.
Why did they just flip it in the first place instead of making it awkward every time they taught it to 8th graders?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't bother me. Like I said, it's in hymns. If you're gonna sing it in a hymnal in church, it can't be that bad. But we also don't need to curse every day because you guys hear enough.
Yeah.
You hear enough from me about that, don't you? All right. So here's the deal. We're not gonna focus on this. I'm gonna try to make it a little bit less complicated. Here's what you need to write down. So down here. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Yeah. All right. If little a, I don't know why I capitalized F. If little a is greater than B. Little b, everything's little so far. Then it's normal. You have one triangle. Okay? So if A is greater than B, one triangle, nothing really changes. It is a little bit different. And I'll go through that with you, but everything's normal. Okay? So the other case of that is if A is less than B, then your option is 0 or 2 triangles. And it becomes very apparent very quickly if there is no triangle, okay? If they give you bad data, bad information, it comes apparent very quickly because your calculator will shout error that you cannot go on. So those are the only 2 rules you have to know. If A is greater than B, normal, continue on as planned from yesterday. And if A is less than B, we're going to have some other case potentially you have to check for it. So let's just do the first one. So check in on A and B. What's the case about A and B here?
A is greater than B.
So it'll be normal, so we don't have to check for the second case, but you are going to see something slightly different, so let's do this together. Everybody put A in the lower left, B in the lower right. C is our top angle today. And it'll make sense more in a little bit why that is the way that will work. But so A is 115, little a is 20, little b is 11. I have switched the triangle around from yesterday, so just as a heads up. But I do want B in the lower right. Okay, do we have an angle and its opposite side? Remember yesterday I told you you have to have that to be able to do law of sines? You have to still have that. We are using law of sines today. I'm not teaching you a new law, I'm just teaching you a new case. So if we have that, let's set up our law of sines. So sine of what? 115, good. Over 20. You always start with what you have. That's how you begin law of sines. Is equal to? So I have this 11, right? What's missing in that pair? The big B. This is where it's different from yesterday. You did this last year where the angle's missing. We just didn't do it yesterday. So we're going to write down sine of B, capital B, over 11. Okay? So get your calculators out. See if we can do this correctly here. If you don't have a calculator, you're going to miss out today. You need to practice this. Grab an old school one. If you don't know how to work it, let me know. Okay. So same thing, you do cross products. This time though, you're going to multiply 11 times sine of 115. So let's do that.
What's different from last time so far?
I think we used to multiply the 20 times the sine of this number first last time, but I don't know if that's...
Doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't. The key with cross products is that you multiply where the two numbers exist.
Yep.
So we multiply this way. So sine of 115 times 11. Something like that, hopefully.
Yeah.
Why are my batteries that dead? That's ridiculous. All right, moving on. What do we divide by then? 20. So we divide by 20. Okay. So you have angle B. Does that make sense that angle B is 49 or 0.5?
I mean, I could.
No, it could be, but it's not. This is where you have to do inverse trig. Anytime you're looking for an angle, you do inverse trig. So what we need to do, because we still have sine of B, we need to hit second sine, second answer. It's the easiest way for me to do it on this one. Second sine, second answer. If you can't do that, if you're using one of the smaller calculators, a way to work around this would just be to round this number to like the thousandth place and just type in second sine of 0.498. Okay, you're not going to get a perfect answer, but close enough. So second sine of second answer is 29.9 degrees. Anybody else get that?
All you have to do is a little calculator. You press the legend and sign, and then it pops up with the answer.
Even easier then. Okay, there's a bonus, finally, for that one. Good work. All right, so 29.9 is angle B. All right, so now that I have angle A and angle B, can I find angle C? Yeah, subtract it from 180. So 29.9 plus 115. Subtract from 180 means my angle here is 35.1. Did I lose somebody? Okay, I'll slow
And
down.
then we do the other side again.
Good. So 35.1 just came from subtracting from 180. And then let's double check. You can remind yourself how we did this yesterday. So set this up again. So sine of 35.1. 35.1 over C. I guess let me rewrite it down here. You set it up with the pink set. You always go back to the pink. See if you can figure that out. What is little c? Do the work right now. Make sure you understand that from yesterday. 35.1 is the measure of the angle, yeah. Does anybody get little c? Anybody? So there's no inverse trig on this one. You just multiply 20 times sine of 35.1 and divide it by sine of 115. 12.7 confirmed. Perfect. 12.7.
No, I think it did.
Okay. Perfect. Now, let's take a look at what happens when you have an error. Okay, so moving on to the back page. Go back to the original information. Is A... Let me go back to this. If A is greater than B, normal. If A is less than B, then 0 or 2 triangles. So identify your A and your B values. For this first one, is A less than B?
Yes.
So our option is 0 or 2. I'm going to let you go ahead and guess which one this is. It says no triangle. This is a 0 example. Good guess. All right, draw your triangle. A goes in the lower left, B goes in the lower right. No, never. However you want. I should have jotted out from underneath these letters, but that's okay. So A, B, and C. All right. Set it up like you would normally. What's our first ratio for the law of sines?
Sine 51 over 3.5.
Good.
Over 3.5.
Sine of 51 over 3.5 is equal to what?
Sine B over 5.
Okay. Anytime you're looking for an angle, be prepared to use inverse trig, right? Be prepared to use inverse trig. So we're going to do that again now. So let's take our calculators out. What do we multiply first? Good. Divide it by. Okay. You cannot take the inverse sine of something bigger than 1. Do it. See what happens. Now take shift sign or error. Whenever you get a syntax error, whenever you get a number bigger than 1 and you try to take the inverse sine of that, it will not work. So this is a case of no triangles. So when you hit error, you just say no triangles and you stop.
Nice.
Okay? It's easy. This is a case that you want to have happen because it reduces your work by quite a bit. This is a no triangle because we hit error. All right, so we're going to end with a 2 triangle. Here we go. One more draw. One more picture. A goes down here. So it's just not even a legitimate triangle. Somebody gave you bad information. It doesn't even create a triangle. One of the sides is too short, so it doesn't even create 3 sides that connect.
Just by looking at the numbers, would you ever be able to tell if they gave you a triangle?
No, because they don't. If they were to give you C, then you could. Because I don't know if you remember from geometry, but the sum of the 2 sides have to be bigger than the third. We just did this the other day, actually. So, who else has a pencil in the front that I can steal? So let's say that these were the 3 sides of your triangle. This is side 1, side 2, side 3. If I gave you these 3 sides and said make a triangle, you would say no triangle exists. Because you can't connect them. Even if I tried my hardest, I can't connect them. Okay? So that's what happened on that last case. Somebody gave us bad information. But you can't tell that unless you actually have the C value. All right. 2 cases. Pretty similar to the first case. 40, 13, 16. This should feel pretty similar because this setup is the same for every one. Sine of 40 over 13 equals what? What's my next setup? Good. All right, so we go through, we solve it. So sine of 40 times 16. Make sure you get the same thing I do. Or if I'm doing it wrong, shout at me. So sine of 40 times 16 divided by what? Divided by 13. All right.
Inverse sine times the previous answer.
Good. Inverse sine, shift answer. So the angle B is 52 degrees. So 52.3 degrees. If you guys don't have this, Josh, if you don't have this worksheet, you can just write it on paper. It's not that much to copy down. Do you need paper or anything? I just think you might do better if you had something you're writing down with. Put the phone away, maybe. This is just one of those topics you're not going to be able to pick up really without a whole lot of focus. If you felt motivated, it'd be good for you. All right, now, here's the deal. I'm going to stop right there. Can I find angle C and its opposite side C?
Yeah.
Yeah, take it away from what?
A.
Yeah, 2 -1
Okay, good. Yeah, and all right. So if I can find C, I'm gonna do it later. It's 87.7. Okay, I'm gonna trust you. Okay, 87.7, and then I would have just solved this one, sine of 87.7 over C. and set it equal to the pink set again. Okay? Somebody can solve it for me if they want to. But here's where the second triangle happens. Remember when I said if A is less than B, you could have 0 or 2 triangles, not just one. Is you right? Is A less than B? So your two options are 2 triangles or no triangles. You cannot have one. So if you stop here, that's not enough information. So go to the second triangle. The second triangle is just with A on the bottom again. So put A on the bottom right or left. C. So here's 16 because we already labeled that. This has to be 40 degrees. Here's the second triangle. It's going to do something like this. So this is case 2. This angle B right here is supplementary to this angle B. So whatever case 1 angle B was, we take and subtract it from 180 for case 2 angle B. So angle B is equal to 180 minus 52.3. So 180 minus 52.3 gets us what? Harper, you on it? What is it?
127.7.
Okay, thanks. So this is 127.7 degrees. So now we have, oh, and this is 13. I forgot to label little a. This is still 13. We already have A and little a. We already have B and big B. We just need to find C and little c. And you repeat the exact same process to find C and little c. What is the big C going to be this time? If I have 40 and 127,
It's going to be
13.3. Confirmed? Somebody 13.3? 12.3? I did it earlier. Okay. Oh, no. Yeah, 12.3. So if this is 12.3, use your pink set. Sine of 40 over 13 is equal to sine of what for the green?
Sine of 12.3 over.
Let's see. All right. So when you have A less than B, you're going to cross your fingers and hope you get an error because then you stop. It's way less work. But if you don't get an error, then you have to do case 2. And the way to get to case 2 is to take angle B away from 180. I'm not giving you homework on this. I don't think it's horribly out of our range, but it's not what we need to do tonight. So, but we will practice.